What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to take a little bit of a look at the Nemesis set of Spider-Woman. Remember that Rise of the Red Skull is coming in the not too distant future. It's coming off at the end of this week, so spoilers are now starting to come thick and fast, and I'm not going to try and show you every single card in the box, but I do want to show you the Nemesis set from Spider-Woman, because it's the Viper, and it's kind of cool. Shout out to the lovely folks at hallofheroeslcg.com, from where I got these pictures. So the Viper is Spider-Woman's Nemesis, and we start off with 2 scheme, 2 attack, 5 health. Which is not particularly brutal. Like, as far as stats go for Nemesis minions, this is not the most terrifying one that I've ever seen. 5 health is moderately high, but it's not terrible. And 2 scheme, 2 attack again is fairly high. But if we put this next to someone like Ronan, for instance, or the Sleeper that we looked at the other day, it's not even close. You know, the Viper is just nowhere near as terrifying. Okay, to be fair, the Sleeper has got scheme of 1, but it's got attack of 3, so we totally let it off. It's also got 5 health per player, not just 5 health normally. So we're going to need to see something more scary here. While the Viper is engaged with you, your hand size is reduced by 1. Okay. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's annoying, that's not great. But Jessica Drew's got a hand size of 6, which is standard, and Spider-Woman's got a hand size of 5, which is standard. And sure, there are heroes that have got less than that, and there are heroes that have got more. And you know what? It's alright. But you can lose one, and it's not the end of the world. Like, it's not great, don't get me wrong. I ain't saying it's great. Obviously, we don't want this to happen. But I am saying that actually, on balance, it really is not the most hideous skill we've ever seen. So actually, I think as far as Nemesis minions go, I'm really not that worried about the Viper. Sure, I'm going to want to take her down nice and quickly, because I don't want my hand size reduced by 1. But then again, my hand size isn't terrible to start off with, so if it is reduced by 1, it's annoying, but it's not the end of the world. And given that 5 hit points, that ain't going to be that hard to take down. 2 scheme, 2 attack. Again, it's a little bit, but it's not great on any of those. It's just a bit, I don't know. I think as far as Nemesis minions go, if this comes out, I'm like, you know what? I'm alright with this. I would rather see this than the Sleeper or Ronan the Accuser. You know, the Sleeper's got guard. You've got to take it down before you take down the villain. And retaliate 1, you take 1 damage when you attack it. And toughness, the first damage it takes just removes the toughness counter. And it's got 5 health per player and free attack. Ronan's got 9 health per player, free scheme, free attack, toughness, cannot be stunned. I mean, and it, you know, always going after the hero with the fewest hit points. So, you know what? As far as Nemesis minions go, and I am fully aware that neither Ronan nor the Sleeper is a Nemesis minion, they're just nice little examples of how harsh minions have been lately, I'm really not worried too much. Now, as well as having a minion, we got to have ourselves a side scheme, and we do. It is the Viper's Ambition. 2 threat, and it deals an extra encounter card during the villain phase. So an extra encounter card is kind of harsh. It means that there's more scheming, more attacking, more. I mean, there's a million different kinds of encounter cards, but put it this way, the heroic mode, the way that FFG have basically come around and told us to make the game more difficult, relies on, well, basically dealing extra encounter cards every turn. So clearly generating extra encounter cards is a bad thing. And when it's revealed, you place an additional 1 threat per player onto the scheme. So in a 1-player game, it's 3 threat, in a 2-player game, it's 4 threat, etc. Again, it's annoying, don't get me wrong, the extra encounter cards is bad, but in a solo game, you're rocking 3 threat, 2-player game, 4 threat, 3-player game, 5 threat. It's not going to be the most difficult scheme to take down, and it's not a critical scheme, so you can ignore it if you want to. And extra encounter cards are awkward, but then again, we've all gone through and had extra encounter cards in the past and survived. Not saying we want extra encounter cards, saying it's not that harsh. So far I'm not terrified of the Viper like I have been about some of the other Nemesis minions. Let's see what else we've got. Ooh, 2 Hydra regular. So these are extra minions in this Nemesis set. And we've got 1 scheme, 2 attack, 2 health, and a new keyword skill, Insight. Insight 1. When this card is revealed, place 1 threat on the main scheme. Now this, and don't get me wrong, right, the scheme, the attack are 2, fine I suppose, but the stats on Hydra regular aren't particularly great. But the Insight 1 can be. One of the worst cards in Marvel Champions, one of the most annoying cards, one of the cards about which we all have nightmares, is Advance. Advance is one of those cards, it's in the villain, what do we call it, the standard set for villains, which is to say that, with the exception of the Wrecking Crew, it's always going to be in the villains encounter deck. And the reason we hate it is because it allows the villain to scheme when you're in hero mode. Usually, you look at a scheme and you go, right, it's going to take 3 threat for me to lose. I'm in hero mode, the villain isn't scheming. So 1 threat is going to go on at the beginning of the villain phase, as it always does. But the villain isn't scheming, the minions aren't scheming because I'm in hero mode. So 3 threat loses me the game, 1 threat's going on, I'm okay. Advance comes out, the villain schemes for 2 and you lose. We've all been there. The reason Advance is so harsh is because we look at the game board and we go, right, this is how much threat loses us the game. When I'm in hero mode, the villain isn't scheming, I'm only getting 1 threat per turn. I'm going to be okay. And I'm not saying Insight is as bad as Advance, but I am saying it can do a similar thing. Oh, I'm so close to losing the game, but it's alright. I need 2 threat to lose. Only 1 threat is going on the main scheme. I'll stay in hero mode. I'll be fine. 1 threat goes on the main scheme. It's 1 threat away from success. And then all of a sudden, Hydra regular comes out. Insight 1. Places a threat on the main scheme, and you lose. It's not as mean or as harsh as Advance. But I do believe that it is harsh, quite frankly. And as much as I'm not impressed with the scheme or the attack or the HP, and I'm not, I do think Insight could be the thing that literally ends up losing your games. Might not, might be fine, but this drops random threat when you're in hero mode. And that is something we are usually unprepared for. General rule is, you worry about threat when you're in alter ego, and you worry about damage when you're in hero mode. And you flick between modes to allow you to manage it. But as soon as you get stuff like this, which can be dropping threat on the main scheme when you're in hero mode, you can end up in an awful lot of trouble. Now, there is 1 card left. It is Hail Hydra. It is a treachery card, and when it's revealed, each Hydra minion engaged with a hero attacks that hero, and each player who was not attacked this way searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a Hydra minion, and puts it into play engaged with them. Of course, the wording there does make it clear that you get to choose which Hydra minion you put in play with you. Maybe not Hydra regular if you're close to losing the game. And we've seen a bunch of Hydra minions so far. We've seen Hydra Bomber, we've seen Hydra Mercenary, we've seen Hydra Soldier, which actually came out in the Legions of Hydra encounter set and in Captain America's Nemesis set. We've seen Madam Hydra, who you're probably not going to be selecting if I'm honest with you. So that, that can be kind of harsh. And of course, there's lots of extra attacks or lots of extra minions. That's kind of bad. Of course, those of you that have played a bunch of this game, or, played with Captain America, will notice that this Hail Hydra Treachery card is actually exactly the same as the one which is in the Captain America Nemesis set. Literally exactly the same card. Same artwork, same number of boost icons, same effect. But given that we're talking about Spider-Woman, I thought I'd mention it here. And I can't guarantee that every single one of you watching has played with the Captain America deck, with the Captain America Nemesis set. So you know what? It would be mean of me to not mention it, just assuming you've all played with Captain America. You might not have done. Certainly took me a few weeks to buy Captain America when I started. Hey ho. Right, I say when it came out. I started at the beginning, and I still couldn't find it for weeks. That is Jessica Drew's Spider-Woman's Nemesis set. Honestly, as far as it goes, the Insight on Hydra regular scares me a little bit, but this seems like one of the tamer Nemesis sets we've seen so far. There's nothing in here that makes me go, yowza, in the same way when we saw Thor and I saw Loki, and I just went, really? Because Loki's got that redonkulous, annoying skill, whereby when you defeat Loki, you discard the top card of the encounter deck, and if it's a treachery, you heal Loki up, and he stays in play. That is a Nemesis minion that goes, what? Or makes me go, what? I don't think Spider-Woman's gotten up to that stage. But as always, I'd love to know what you think, so, let me know in the comment section, would ya? Nuts, me nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wossy. That's where we talk Marvel Champions and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wossy Plays.